Welcome to Jikook Are Dating. Hope you're all doing well, Jikook fans. Today I bring you a video full of happiness, tenderness, and surprises because yes, our Jikook is back. And when I say back, I don't mean they're causing trouble, but they're back to share the Jikook interactions we've all been missing with the public. And here, as I always say, it's all about patience, waiting calmly, because sooner or later they will bring back the moments we love. The moment happened so quickly, but its impact spread instantly throughout the fandom. Within seconds, the screen was filled with virtual screams from ARMY who couldn't believe what they had just seen. Jimin and Jungkook, two names that always have a way of making the atmosphere buzz, once again created a small scene that felt so big. A chin touch. Simple, almost imperceptible. But that's exactly where the surprise lies. At first, the atmosphere seemed relaxed. Jimin with his signature gentle expression, Jungkook with his ever-elusive gaze. They chatted lightly, laughed softly, like two friends who had shared too much space and time. No dramatic music, no grand announcement. But then, the moment arrived. Jungkook reached out, his fingers touching Jimin's chin with a movement so gentle, almost reflexive. As if it wasn't planned, but rather a habit that just happened. Jimin's reaction became the center of attention. There was no excessive surprise, nor rejection. What was visible was a small smile, a momentary downward gaze, and an undeniable warm aura. That's when many armies fell silent. Because often, emotional honesty doesn't come from words, but from spontaneous responses like that. The touch on the chin felt personal, too gentle to be called a joke, too natural to be considered acting. Jikook is known for its unique dynamic. From the stage to behind the scenes, they often show a strong emotional closeness. Glances that seek each other out, laughter that feels exclusive, and consistent small gestures of attention. But this chin touch moment seems to add a new layer, quieter, more intimate, and therefore feels more real to fans. Many are wondering, what exactly does this touch mean? Is it just a playful gesture in the middle of a conversation? Or is it a form of comfort that only two people who are truly close can share? In the world of BTS, where every movement is often analyzed, one small touch can speak louder than 1,000 words. Especially when it comes without a script, without the intentional spotlight of the camera. Social media exploded. The clip was replayed over and over, slowed down, zoomed in. Comments poured in from all over the world, expressing surprise, happiness, and even emotion. Many armies admitted to feeling the same vibration, a sudden warm feeling, as if they were witnesses to a private moment that was accidentally shared with the public. What made this moment even more powerful was its context. It wasn't excessive or contrived. Precisely because it looked natural, the touch left a deep impression. It was as if Jimin and Jungkook forgot that they were being watched by millions of pairs of eyes and were just being themselves, two people who felt comfortable being that close to each other. Is this confirmation of something bigger? Or just a small piece of a very deep friendship? BTS always teaches us that human relationships can take many forms and not all of them need to be labeled. Perhaps that is where the beauty lies. ARMY is free to feel, interpret, and keep that moment as a sweet memory. One thing is certain, that chin touch was more than just a hand gesture. It was a spark of emotion captured by the camera, then brought to life in the hearts of fans. And like many other Jikook moments, it will continue to be talked about. Not because of the sensation, but because of the warmth it left behind. The moment of silence, after that moment, felt even louder than the screams. Many noticed that after that chin touch, there was a small but significant change in both of their body language. Jungkook seemed to be holding back a smile, as if he realized something he had just done without thinking. Meanwhile, Jimin, in his own way, looked calmer, but also gentler. His gaze did not immediately return to the camera, as if he needed an extra second to sort out the feelings that had suddenly arisen. The observant army immediately picked up on these small details. The way Jungkook slowly withdrew his hand, not hurriedly. The way Jimin lightly rubbed his face, like someone who is calming themselves down. All of this reinforced the impression that this moment was not just a casual interaction. There was a sense of security, trust, and closeness that could not be faked. Looking back at Jikook's journey since their debut, moments like this are not the first, but they always feel different every time they happen. They grew up together, going through exhausting trainee days, big stages, public pressure, and a more reflective adult phase. That closeness was not born overnight. It was built over time, from long periods of togetherness, and from understanding each other without needing many words. A chin touch, in many cultures, is often seen as a gesture of care. It can mean comforting, gently teasing, or simply making sure the other person feels noticed. In the context of Jimin and Jungkook, the gesture feels like a private language, one that only they fully understand. And perhaps that is precisely why ARMY feels allowed to see something so personal. Interestingly, there was no attempt to correct or explain the moment afterwards. There was no excessive laughter to cover it up, no joking remarks to try to divert attention. Everything was left to flow as it was. The silence was like a silent acknowledgement that not everything needs to be explained, and not all closeness needs to be justified. In the comment section, many ARMY members wrote about feeling the same way, a mixture of shock, emotion, and happiness. Some admitted to crying without knowing why. Others felt that the moment reminded them of a simple form of love, being present, gentle, and attentive. Once again, Jikook managed to touch people's emotions without needing big words. And perhaps that is the essence of it all. What really happened? What happened was two people who felt comfortable with each other. Two friends, or whatever label people want to give them, who were not afraid to show small gestures of affection in front of the world. In an industry that often demands perfection and control, spontaneous moments like this feel honest and human. That chin touch is now a memory that will live on in the minds of ARMY. It will be replayed, discussed, and saved as one of the unforgettable Jikook moments. Not because of the drama, but because of the warmth. Because behind the spotlight and cameras, Jimin and Jungkook remind us that the strongest emotions often come from the simplest things. As time goes by, that moment doesn't fade. It actually gets stronger. Every time the clip is replayed, new details seem to emerge. There's Jungkook's slightly deeper breath before his hand moves. There's the change in Jimin's eyes, as if he's reading something that only the two of them can understand. These small things make many ARMYs feel that what they are watching is not just a video clip, but a fragment of real emotion. Interestingly, after that chin-touching moment, the dynamic between them seems to have softened. They sit closer together. Their shoulders occasionally touch unintentionally,